Those of you who are familiar with my work with dogs will know that I am extremely enamored by the street dog populations in the countries that I travel to around the world. Nearest and dearest to my heart are these guys, the Philippine native dogs, the Asong Pinoy, aka Aspins. Aspins is the nickname given to these dogs, which is just a mashup of Asong and Pinoy. Asong meaning dog, Pinoy, Filipino. Let me debunk the myth that street dogs are not trainable. These dogs are super trainable and extremely playful, and they're clowns, they're characters. They have such a love of life. They're great to be around. I just can't get enough of these guys. On one hand, the Asong Pinoy, or the Aspins, have not been selected genetically to take direct information from humans in a working capacity. But on the other hand, they're dogs, and any dog can be trained. There are many Filipinos who undervalue their native dogs, the Asong Pinoy or the Aspins, and place higher value on what they call here in the Philippines hybrids, aka purebreds. I stand by the Asong Pinoy. I think that these dogs are exceptionally trainable. They're super social, very playful. With the right trainer, the right techniques, the right relationship development and effort put into these dogs could excel at almost any aspect of dog training that any purebred dog could do. This guy's the king. The king just showed up here. This guy right here. This guy here, he's the leader of this pack. He's the king. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I know.
Hi, I'm Beverly. I'm a pet photographer from the Philippines. My background is with film. I'm film producing. I was film producing part-time and doing pet photography, but now I've kind of directed my focus into pet photography and all things dog, my advocacy. I also wanted it to be kind of like an instrument in educating people as well when it comes to our local Aspins here, which are great Aspins and great dogs and very smart and very independent, but also very sweet, just like any other dog. And it's a pity because, like, for example, Jason has been here for a few years, coming back and forth, and I see him appreciate them more than I do see with the other Filipinos and my countrymen. That to me is important part of my work, to be able to put them in a light where people didn't see them before, like Filipinos didn't see them before. So one of the benefits is you get with your community. So for this plaza, for example, with Jason's dog friends here, I would have to come back and see to it that either they're fed regularly, and some of the guys that are sweeping here would just look out after them, and just maybe, again, to be a step up, like put a sign not to feed the dogs, or if they want to feed the dogs at a certain time, because then that prohibits them from begging at any time of the day. And then that would also give the people that are not into dogs or annoyed by dogs some peace if they just want to be in the park, because that's where the violence comes in. Like there's ignorance, like, you know, these are strays, they don't have any homes, and they're pestering them for the food. So yeah, that's what we're trying to avoid. So it's a challenge, but at the same time, it can be a fun challenge as well. And these dogs are just really nice, and I don't know, they're nicer to Jason, that's for sure. They were like following him every time I take a picture. I'd want a picture with them. They just want to be with Jason.
In the whole wide world of street dogs, this is my favorite pack of all time ever. This pack consists of 8 dogs, 2 parents, and 6 siblings. 7 of them are here, mama is somewhere else. These dogs' territory is the Plaza Independencia in the port area of Cebu City. It is about the size of about 2 football fields, and it's a really nice, peaceful, tranquil location in the middle of Cebu City, which is pretty intense. The street dogs here in the Philippines are vulnerable population like they would be anywhere else in the world. They're vulnerable to people mistreating them, and also specifically here in Cebu City, these dogs who live in parks are vulnerable to dog catchers working for the city coming in, doing sweeps and catching these dogs, taking them to the city pound and euthanizing them after a couple of days if nobody claims them. The way things work here in Cebu and in the Philippines in general is that dogs who are not collared are way more vulnerable, right? Dogs who are collared belong to somebody. And if they belong to somebody, people are gonna treat them much better. People might feed them a little bit. And dog catchers are gonna leave them well enough alone because they already belong to someone. So to help these dogs and ensure that these dogs can live out their life in this awesome park environment in relative peace, I have claimed this pack as my own. Now, I don't mean that in an ownership sense, but more in a protectorate sense. So I have collared all these dogs and written names on their collars. So these dogs are identifiable to passersby as dogs that are owned by somebody, which means people are going to leave these dogs alone. It means these dogs can live here for the rest of their lives in peace. And so I'm really going to miss these dogs when I leave back to Canada tomorrow. I've really come to bond with this pack and become very fond of this pack. But my team here in Cebu is going to be cruising through the park here periodically, keeping an eye on the dogs. I've talked to the security guys around here and some of the park maintenance staff, and they now know these are my dogs. I'm just happy that these dogs are going to be safe and sound in Plaza Independencia Park for the duration of their careers. Okay, let me introduce you guys to my pack here, the dogs of Plaza Independencia, Cebu City, Philippines. Here's Outcast with a K. Here's Chester. Hey, Chester. There's Mama. There's Prince. Here's King. King's the man. Top dog, Papa of the pack. Here's Frowny. You can see why I call him Frowny. Look at the frown on his face. Frowny. Chester's always got to be up and everything. And who else we got here? Oh, there's Pachita. There's Pachita. Hi, Pachito. And here's Blondie. Blondie, I don't have a collar on. She's hard to get a collar on. She doesn't want it. There they are. The whole pack. My crew.